Sound like one of those AI.
Happy New Year. Oh, there we go. We got the mic turned up now. How many people are watching?
Nobody yet. We just started
Gosh, what a failure.
It's the second we turn on the live stream, we're a failure. There's 2 people watching.
It's the 2 people that are waiting.
Hey, you 2 people. Yeah.
Sutter's mom.
Actually, I won't deny that. It may be. All right, guys, quiet. All right, guys, we're live. Justin, get in the couch, please. Welcome back to the Discipleship Podcast. Today, we are discussing, should Christians celebrate Halloween? Now, open to audience questions from here and from online. You can send those in on the side chat bar. We have 2 moderators. One's right there. The other one is nowhere to be found. Josh, think you can handle this? Caleb, you think you can help Josh too? It keeps us from yelling at each other. Sadie could be a moderator. You could be a moderator. Yep. All right. We'll figure it out after our first question.
Make sure Sutter, Justin, and Will don't start fighting.
Yep. All right, guys. So first off, we're going to be discussing who should Christians vote for.
I was texting you.
All right. Let's bring it back in, guys. So first thing we're going to be discussing is who should Christians vote for. Now. No. If you're what? No. So we're not going to go straight to let's vote for Kamala or Kamala, whatever she calls herself. We're going to discuss this like civil people, even though you aren't.
I am.
Not you, them. Okay. So who would like to go first?
Me.
I'm gonna let Gabriel go first because Will, you have too much.
Okay. Me?
No, Will.
Okay. Who should Christians vote for? Whoever kills the least amount of humans. And as we know, Kamala Harris supports abortion up to birth, which is actually disgusting. And
Almost everything I had in my notes. That's it.
Now Donald Trump does support abortion up to 15 weeks, which is also disgusting. But thinking about like being able to kill a baby before it's like up until it starts breathing, it's awful. And so that's what she supports. Donald Trump, he though you have to look at this you got to look at this in a biblical perspective because they're both human and they're both going to make mistakes. It's really kind of voting for the lesser of 2 evils. Donald Trump has better policies, and he's proven that with his presidency in 2016 through 2020. And so I think it's kind of a no-brainer that you should vote for Trump because in the end, it will become more accepting of a Christian country, and it'll kill less people. Here you go, Will.
That's literally all I had in my notes.
My bad.
Who's gonna kill the least people?
Okay. My bad.
So, as everybody's aware, there's no perfect candidate. Like, you got to look at which candidate has the least amount of flaws, basically. I mean, you can look at Kamala Harris in one hand, and I mean, you can just look at the woman and tell that she's evil. I'm serious. Listen to her laugh.
Okay.
That woman is literally creepy.
Against Kamala's laugh.
Well, all right, I'm just bringing up some facts, but basically, I mean, she supports abortion, as Gabriel said, all the way up to birth, which is murder. It's a satanic ritual. It's a sacrifice, a human sacrifice, and it's absolutely disgusting that anywhere close to half the nation would even support a candidate that believes in this. It's absolutely ridiculous. Now, I will say they both are supporting wars, and wars do kill people too. But
they're inevitable right now because of the end times and stuff.
Yeah, that's true.
But gonna happen, so.
Yeah, we already know the wars are going to happen. That's true. And they're both supporting war. But I mean, if you look at it from a Christian perspective, I don't see how any Christian that's actually a Christian could vote for Kamala Harris when she has come out with stances like she supports abortion. Like, It's just ridiculous. And Donald Trump, I guess, said he supported abortion up to 15 weeks, but it doesn't really matter what they support. Abortion should be a state's issue, but without getting political. Anyways. All right, Justin, you got something you want to say?
Now that we're done with our political plug, can we get into the actual part of the podcast?
You didn't even have anything about politics, did you?
In 3 minutes.
This is not a political podcast; it's a Christian podcast.
Yeah, but we
so.
need to speak of these.
Oh, now we only have one
Exactly,
person
because
watching.
that
Look,
person
one
left
person
because
left.
they
Okay,
didn't
so
like
now
us.
They were a
talking.
Kamala Harris supporter.
No,
Yes.
Will.
Okay, one person watching. 0 people are watching.
that must have been a Kamala Harris supporter.
You're
All right,
fine.
listen, guys. Listen, yeah. So, listen, and it's not even. I have it scheduled for 8:05, y'all. Nobody knows to come till 8:05. So listen,
10 minutes.
for all we know, just to sum up, who should you vote for as a Christian? You should not vote for the person who's going to murder the most humans. So, what?
I don't object.
So don't vote for Kamala. Vote for Trump. We've already made a video of this with Justin. It was a wonderful, wonderful video. Y'all need to watch it. It was just so great. Look at our shorts, but it was great. So check that out. Now for
Wait.
the
I want to say something else about politics.
what is it?
It's about God, dude.
Okay, hurry up though.
So no matter who you vote for, know that whoever gets picked is under God's will. Whether it be good or bad, it's still under God's will. So don't be saddened if the person that you don't want to be in gets in, because God has a plan for our country and us individually, no matter who gets in power, and we should still submit to them as long as it doesn't go against the Bible.
So he's basically he's bringing up he's kind of quoting Romans 12 there. Yes, it's God's will. Whoever is elected, it's in his plan. Okay, but people get that confused sometimes, where they think like, just let whoever you want rule over us. I mean, don't fight back, because it's all in God's will. It's in God's will, but we still got to stand up for what we believe. Like if they do something like, I mean, if they're going against God, then we can't tolerate that. And if they cheat, if they do something like that, we shouldn't just idly sit by and say, oh well, it's in God's will, so whatever. I mean, we understand God has a plan, and it's whatever happens is in his will, but we can't be too passive.
Yeah.
We got to stand up for what we believe.
All right, it's time
It's time for the home. And just to add to what Will said, yeah, that's 100% right. We go along with the ruler of the country or region we're in until it contradicts God. When it starts contradicting God, we no longer go along with this ruler. We fight against this ruler, and murdering is against God. So there you go. Thank you, Caleb. All right, we're going to get started with the big topic tonight. Should Christians celebrate, participate, take any part in Halloween? Now, to keep this from getting heated, we have several moderators along the side. Also, audience questions and comments are all welcome tonight. So, this is going to... Yeah, get in that live chat. Send your questions. Send everything. Just send a picture of your best friend. Don't send a picture of your best friend. But thank you to the one person watching. It's probably my mom. But if you're not my mom, thank you.
Thank you for watching anyway.
Yeah, thanks. And if you are my mom, thank you.
Yeah.
And please just don't leave.
Honor your mother.
Anyway, here we go. So, Halloween, the celebration that was sad. She just missed the trash can. I'm sorry, my bad. Yeah, we actually do want to try. So, Halloween. This is a celebration that is celebrated every year on October 31st. Now, there's dressing up, trick-or-treating, scaring people, all these things. So we'll start with this side. Now, it's sort of a 3-on-1. They have different opposing views from what I have. They all sort of have the same view from what I know. But we're gonna start on this side. So who wants to go first?
Please let me.
I'll go. I'll let Will go first this time since Gabriel went first last time. So Will, should Christians celebrate Halloween?
You like know how to
So,
bait.
so the statement. So the question: should Christians what?
That
Oh.
side. The one
Oh.
that's hyperx on the bottom.
Oh, I see. Oh, so the statement: should Christians celebrate Halloween? Or question. It's interesting, but it depends on what you define celebrate as. If you define celebrate as, me and my friends go trick or treating, knock on some houses, get some candy, and then come back and watch a scary movie, yes, that's fine. However, if we get into the culture of we're going to dress up and paint our fingernails black and go as a witch and a warlock, and we're going to stay up all night long, and we're going to watch this crazy satanic movie, and we love Halloween. It's our favorite holiday of the year. That's wrong. Okay. So basically, you can't celebrate it if it's only in the sense that you're just doing it to enjoy it, and you don't get too caught up in the culture of it. I think when you start getting caught up in the culture of it, then it starts getting bad. It's kind of got some dark origins if you look at it. Right. You got something to say?
I want to hear Sutter's point.
Yeah, so I have 4 points, and Will, yes, I understand this of what you have said, but the problem is, where do you draw the line of where it's too bad, where it's too good, blah blah blah, etc. Anyway, yeah, I have a few points here, so I want to get y'all's opinion on this. An ex-witch came out of the occult and said that he would cast spells on anything that had something to do with Halloween. He said usually Christians could not get spells casted on them. They're protected by the blood of Jesus. Now, he was commanded by demons to go cast spells on things. He said he asked one of his spirit guides, which was a demon. He didn't know this at the time. He asked the demon if he needed to ask the person permission to do this. And the demon said no. When they participate in Halloween and when they dress up, when they take candy from somebody, that's participating in that. You now have permission to cast that spell on them.
So you can cast a spell on anyone that comes by and takes candy out of a Halloween bowl.
Yeah. Okay.
So I want to know, what do y'all say about that?
All right. So you see, like you get an opinion. Is this like your opinion on all of Halloween? That from that person's experience, or like at all? If I go get candy.
My opinion on Halloween comes from the Bible and personal experiences of new Christians.
Okay. So, number one, so the person said that they talked to demons and the demons have told them certain things. Number one, demons are liars. They can lie any way to get anyone to go as far away from God as possible. And they will do that. Satan, Satan, like the very first thing he did was lie. And so that's like the very first thing you see in the Bible of a demon is lying. And even then, if someone comes out of McDonald's and says, so I went to McDonald's and these people spit in my food and it got me sick, does that mean I never go to McDonald's again from that one person's experience?
You just don't go to McDonald's because McDonald's.
Well, McDonald's is McDonald's.
Okay, take Chick-fil-A for example.
Chick-fil-A. So someone going to Chick-fil-A.
Yes.
Okay, even if they did, Chick-fil-A. Someone comes out of Chick-fil-A and says, "Listen, these people spit in my food. I got sick. It's awful. Don't ever do that." So I'm gonna say everyone spits in my food. Therefore, I should never go get food from Chick-fil-A because there's gonna be spit in it. That's I would argue that that's just.
It's a slippery.
But just because someone has experience with the bad thing doesn't mean the bad things. It doesn't mean the bad thing's not true. But is it objectively true?
I'll say one thing before it gets back to him.
Okay. Just keep it in that same topic.
So yes, I understand what he's saying, and the point he was making about the demon saying that any single person that celebrated Halloween in the smallest capacity is you can cast a spell onto. I mean, I I see what he's saying, but I don't think that you can stretch it as far as like any little kid that comes up like gets a piece of candy from a Halloween bowl. I mean, because it's not demonic when it's just somebody giving a kid a piece of candy. Like,
Justin, do you
Come
want to
on.
add?
I can go back to you first.
Okay.
He's-
All right, I'll
he's
respond
like-
to each of you first. I actually have these in my responses. I'll respond to Gabriel first. It was a very, very interesting analogy, Gabriel. Only thing I didn't understand is could you please show me Chick-fil-A's pagan roots?
Can you show me Halloween's pagan root?
Yes, I can.
Okay.
Came from Ireland with the ancient Celts. They were celebrating paganism and witchcraft before the Christians came over. And in Ireland, what they would do is they would dress up and they would go what they called souling, which was to go door to door and to offer up prayers for the dead in exchange for food. Dressing up was to blend in with evil spirits that they believed could come out on October 31st. And they would disguise themselves so that the evil spirits would not try and get vengeance on them. And then carving pumpkins was to make a face to try and scare away the evil spirits. It'd be like faces growling back at them. That's some of Halloween's pagan roots. Pretty much everything in Halloween has a pagan root. But also to the demons will lie. Satan will do whatever it takes to get at God. Oh yeah, hate it.
It's fine. Someone will watch it later eventually.
It's fine.
You just gotta repost it.
Satan will do whatever it takes to get at God. He can't always lie. That's not possible. You can't always lie and still have an army to fight against God. He doesn't care if he's always lying. What he wants is to get at God. And so, first of all, why would these demons lie about this? Why would the demons lie about this? And to Will's point, saying just every little kid that goes and gets candy, how can that be it? The founder of the Satanic Church said, Anton LaVey, he said, "I'm glad Christian parents let their children worship the devil one night of the year."
Can I say something about that quote?
Yeah. The Satanic Church denies it.
Yeah, so no,
What about them lying?
So Anton LaVey was an atheist. He didn't believe in Satan, nor did he believe in demons. And the church he founded is an atheistic church, and they didn't believe in demons, nor did they believe in Satan. They believe in Satan as like the naturalistic human going against the rules. So he didn't even believe in Satan.
Where'd you get that? What's your source for that?
Google. And
There is a website for the Satanic Church of Christ that it lists it in their beliefs.
oh, it does?
Yeah.
Okay. Well.
Wait, so you
No,
I
he-
didn't click on the link, but
let me turn your question back around on you. How do you know they're not lying?
I didn't go.
How do you know the Satanic Church?
He
is
just
lying?
said they all have some truth to it.
I mean, I'm not saying they're always lying, but I know that demons are liars. And
Okay, but what about Satanic Church? If you're going to use that argument against me, what if I turned around and used it on your argument of saying that he founded a church that was not?
well, I would turn around and use your own argument against yourself again. And say, demons can't. It's impossible for them to always lie, to have an army to go against God, because they just want to get at God. So they can't always lie.
Okay.
All right.
They don't answer our own question. So.
Yeah.
I understand what he's saying, and I still see that. I still think all these references are referring to actually like getting caught up in the spirit of Halloween, because simply the act of just dressing up and trick-or-treating without any sort of satanic symbolism or any sort of satanic demonic influence.
That dressing up in general is satanic.
So if I went and dressed up my dog as a bumblebee, that's satanic.
On Halloween?
Yeah.
Actually, he talked about that in the video.
Well, that's your opinion.
That's not
But yeah, I just think I just think it's kind of a stretch to say that every single form of dressing up or celebrating or observing Halloween in the smallest capacity satanic. I provide you with a example of something. So, Sutter, would you believe that bringing people to Christ is the overall most important thing that we would do as Christians? Okay, so I was having a conversation with the pastor at my church about a year ago at this time, and he said, I asked him, I said, what do you think about celebrating Halloween? Christians do it. Should we just completely stay away from it? I said, okay. And he said the same thing I was saying. He said, I think if you just go trick or treating or something, you're not actually supporting the industry. I think that's okay. I think just getting caught up in the spirit of Halloween is the bad part of it. And he said that he and his wife would always have a party at their house every year. Just, instead of they just have a Halloween party at their house every year, but it wasn't really a Halloween party he called it, but he just called it like a party. They'd come and dress up and they would carve pumpkins and stuff like that. And he said they actually brought people to Christ in some of those times. There are people that would come to their house that were not believers. They would talk to them. And these conversations all started from him having a party on Halloween night. So I would say if the most important mission truly is to bring people to Christ, then I think we would have to value instances like that and say where the presence of believers is important. And when we're socializing with people and we're talking to people, it's very important that we do that to bring people to Christ in similar instances.
Wait,
We
was he celebrating having a Halloween party, or was it just a party?
It was a party on Halloween night. They didn't technically call it a Halloween party, but they were still like carving pumpkins and stuff.
can I ask you a question about costumes?
In a
was a
second,
party
let's
on
answer to
Halloween,
Will's.
yeah.
Let's answer Will's thing, and Justin can go next to get some stuff on. Will, I did have that written down. Two of the points against would be sharing the gospel and just don't get in the spirit of it. I would like to say that is good that they were able to witness to them and share the gospel with them. But you can share the gospel any other day. You can just say that I'm having a party at my house. If too many days? No, not at all. But to have a get together on a satanic holiday and do the things from those ancient pagan roots is, we don't sacrifice our beliefs. We don't sacrifice. If you're going to say this, you're going to a friend's house and you want to witness to them, but the only way that they'll hang out with you is if you go, say, get drunk with them. Are you going to go get drunk with them and then witness to them while you're drunk? And no, it's same with Halloween. You're not going to celebrate those ancient pagan roots like them just to witness to them.
Not celebrating.
Wait, I have some
Participate.
Well, hold on.
But
participating in their
what is getting in the spirit?
Hold on.
Getting in the spirit of it would be dressing up, like going to, dressing up and like observing the roots of it, getting into like all these witch and warlock outfits. That would be like celebrating it.
Where do you draw the line? It's either for or against God. What do you respond to that verse?
For God.
You say Halloween is for God.
No, Halloween's not for God. I'm not saying it's for God. I'm saying that if you get into the spirit of Halloween, yes, it's against God. But if you stay out of the spirit of Halloween, it's the same as everything else.
It's
same
either
as Valentine's
you
Day.
can't cut it in half. It's either for or against
Okay, what
God.
about Valentine's Day? Is that for or against God?
I don't know. I didn't do any research on Valentine's Day.
Just standing in the middle of a room doing nothing for or against God.
Exactly. You can't say.
You can't say everything is either for or against
standing in
God.
that room, you're not out witnessing. That's against God.
Listen,
You're standing in the room when you could be out there witnessing.
Well, you could be out committing sin.
listen.
Exactly.
Hey, let's drop back in.
Wait, I have a question and I have a comment.
Okay.
Oh, we got
Just,
two people watching.
All right. Well, Will.
One person.
Okay.
Will, listen. Will, you can't cut Halloween in half and say some is good, some is bad. That's
Okay,
not
wait.
how this works. You can't be half pregnant. You can't be. No, it's a good example because you can't be. I
Well-
think I'm sort of pregnant. That's not possible.
Well, I have some things I want to say. What about YouTube? We're streaming this on YouTube right now. Is YouTube for or against God?
Is YouTube for or against God?
Yeah.
Now that's something.
I
that
see
can
some
be
awful
easy to learn.
content on YouTube, and
Yeah,
I see
you
some
have.
very good content on YouTube.
YouTube itself is not a. It's not YouTube. It's the people on YouTube. YouTube itself does not have pagan roots.
No, but like if I participate in looking at the website of YouTube, I could be opening myself up to Satan.
Wait, asshole.
If you walk into the
Alright,
world,
we got a crowd question.
Yeah, something. Okay, so, but YouTube could be like not allowing those videos, right? They're like not really doing much to prevent that kind of stuff. So.
yeah, they're not.
So if they're not preventing the satanic videos,
YouTube is either
Well,
for or
then
against
Aren't they
God.
kind of just
If everything-
letting
Well-
everything be out there?
Let you say you go on YouTube, you're opening yourself up to sin. You walk out your door, you're opening yourself up to sin.
Yeah.
This is
Would that be for or against God?
walking out your door in the morning
Yeah.
for God. You're going to witness to people.
Yeah.
Well, you're opening yourself up to sin.
You have
Is that
to.
is
You have to be
opening
able to
yourself
resist.
up to sin for God?
It depends on if you can't follow God's other commandments without opening yourself up to sin, then it would be for God. But if you can follow God's other commandments without opening yourself up to sin, then it would be against God.
Okay, I have a question. So you say like the wearing a costume stuff is pagan.
Yes.
If so, that means if I wear a costume at all, then it's
Yeah,
it's like
he's
Satanist
got on-
because it's
He's
pagan.
got on a black suit and an orange tie. Is that?
Well, listen,
is
on
that-
Halloween night, if you're dressing up in a costume, and say there's a witch or a warlock or someone like that nearby, then they would have that ability to cast a spell on you to form demonic attachments.
Can you argue this? Like
Yeah, can you back this
like
up?
how
Maybe
what
Brad-
what's the
Yeah, I can
evidence?
back this up with I have 3 sources here. Jenny Weaver, who's an ex-witch. There's another ex-warlock. Jonathan Ramirez, I think is his name, the ex-priest of the Satanic Church. All say this. These are all people who are
What
now
do they all
Christians.
say?
They all say that if you put on a costume and you're participating in Halloween, then you're
What are
opening
they
yourself up.
considering a costume? Are they considering, like I said, dressing up my dog?
Yeah, any sort of dressing up like
Or
that.
are
So-
they considering it?
But I would argue
a witch?
that it's not. In the Bible, 1 Corinthians 8, Paul talks about Christians that would not eat meat because it was sacrificed to pagan gods. He said that there's nothing wrong with it because the pagan gods are nothing compared to the one almighty God. There's nothing wrong with the eating of the meat that was sacrificed to pagan gods. So I think if you're wearing a costume, like if I'm gonna wear, like I'm gonna put on a suit and a bowler hat and just walk around. It's
That's such a Gabriel thing.
dude, but I would argue that is not satanic because I don't have it's the intention that matters.
Okay.
And like you said with the spirit of Halloween, so like it's the people's intention. The intention wasn't worship the pagan gods by eating the meat, but they were wondering if it was bad to even eat the meat because it was sacrificed to pagan gods, and Paul said it's not.
Who made the meat?
God who made
Who made Halloween?
No one technically made it. It's
Catholics?
The pagans, the Celtics were the ones who made it.
It's
was
actually-
a pagan holiday. So
Is it?
So explain to me where the meat is in Halloween. Where is the good in Halloween?
The good.
The good
It-
would be
witnessing?
right.
God created the meat for us to eat. He told us to eat it. In the Bible, God tells us He made this meat for us to eat. And no matter that rhymed, and even if somebody tries to take it and make it bad, they can't because God originally made it good. Halloween was originally made bad, and now we're trying to.
It
make
wasn't.
It good.
It wasn't though. It has Catholic origins. It was
Wait, you're a Catholic?
no.
So Catholicism is good?
Catholic, yeah,
They're
Catholicism is good.
Christians, but they have different.
They have different
We did
beliefs,
roast
and it
Catholics.
matters the intent of how
Yeah.
you
guys remember
participate.
when you debated that Catholic or met that Catholic? You
Uh,
talked about how much sacrificing and
that is
bad
That's-
one of my friends is
that's,
Catholic, and he's very knowledgeable, and then he knows
He was
he's
an ex-Catholic.
Christian.
well. That's
He's-
Mexican
he's Christian.
Catholicism.
I mean, he's a Catholic right now.
Well, listen. Let me
And
do
I
this.
talked to him, and he's a Christian. I know he's saying.
He's a Christian.
Let's pull this. Let's
No,
pull.
he didn't. I'm talking
No,
about my friend.
you're talking about two different people. Let me pull this back in. Let's go on to a new line of evidence, biblical evidence. would y'all please give some biblical evidence supporting that it's okay for Christians to participate in Halloween?
There is nowhere in the Bible that even talks about Halloween. So
Okay,
all
okay.
differences on this. This is why it's a debate. If it said anywhere,
Hold on.
it's okay, or if it's not okay for Christians to celebrate Halloween, we wouldn't be having this debate. We're looking at the
Give
Bible,
me-
we're getting out pieces of information.
Give
and trying to
me
determine whether or not
biblical
this is-
evidence. Before I give you that, give me biblical evidence that it is not bad to put a Christmas tree in my house.
Give you biblical evidence?
Yeah.
Give me biblical evidence it is.
No, but it has pagan roots.
According to who? I
According
can argue against that.
according to the I can argue against
Christmas
it
tree.
with
evergreen-
Halloween.
The evergreen was a
Yeah.
symbol of everlasting life. The
So was
Christmas tree-
Halloween.
Guys,
What?
we're really
People would dress up as the dead and the living dancing together as a symbolism of victory, life having victory over death because eternal life. That's what the Catholic origins it had, and so they would dress up as the dead and the living dancing together.
Let's hold on just a second. Let's pull back to the Christmas tree.
Okay.
When we go into Christmas, neither one of us can give biblical evidence for or against it. When we go into Halloween, only one of us can give biblical evidence against it.
Hold on a
Okay,
second.
wait, so
Hold
what
on
is
a
it?
second, Hold on a second. You're not giving biblical evidence on Halloween specifically.
Yeah.
No, you're not. There's nowhere in the Bible that references the holiday of Halloween, because when the Bible was written, there was no such thing as Halloween.
Wait, is witchcraft bad?
Yeah, witchcraft is bad.
Witchcraft is bad, but it's not witchcraft when you're just dressing your dog up like a bumblebee.
But it opens you up to Halloween. It allows
Dressing
you
your
to-
dove up like a bumblebee does not open yourself up
Let
to
me give
witchcraft.
you
But let me just say something real quick. Do you agree that when we're Christians and we're saved, that we're protected from all evil? Because okay, well then there we go. If we're Christians and you're saved, yes. Okay, well you just said Christians can't lose salvation last podcast. You're debating against that.
You take down that wall of protection. You don't lose your salvation. But
Do
you
you-
can take down the wall of
So
defense.
I can be a Christian and not be protected by Jesus?
Yeah, if you open yourself up to that.
How can you?
How about you
That's
sin?
not true.
How can a Christian sin? How can they go and sin?
Humans.
Jesus
Because we're
protects us.
human beings.
Yeah.
and
so
we're
same way
sinful.
with this. Same way with this. Jesus protects us against it. But when you take down that wall, he allows you to get attacked by it because
You can't take down the wall. You were just making the argument last
So
week
can I-
that we can't lose our salvation. We're always, yeah, exactly. So we're always protected by God. When we are saved, we have God's protection.
Yes, and when you tell God,
So,
I don't
yes,
need your protection.
Yes. No, we're never telling God we don't need our protection by dressing our dog up like a bumblebee.
When you participate in Halloween, you're telling him that you
Okay,
don't
well,
want
I've participated in Halloween before. I never told God that I don't want his
By
protection.
participating in Halloween, you are showing God that you don't want his protection from this.
Yes. So if we are looking at biblical verses that you've been so interested in pointing out. I know, but like if we're looking at it, we're protected as Christians. If we're saved, we're protected as Christians from evil. Therefore, if we're doing something like just going out and I'm gonna say like my friend and I are tomorrow, we're gonna go dressed up as SWAT team or something, and we're just gonna go get some candy, collect some candy, and then hang out at his house afterwards. That's not satanic because we're not actually participating in the roots of Halloween. We're not getting into the spirit of Halloween. We have protection from evil as saved Christians. So technically, we're not opening ourselves up to evil. We're not opening ourselves up to spells. You can't have a spell casted on you when you're a Christian and you're saved. That's a fundamental belief that I have. If you're saved and you're a Christian, you can't have some idiot come by and cast a spell on you. You're protected by God.
Yeah,
What you've done is you've made a statement with no backing evidence other than saying that you are protected by God, which
do we
can
disagree
argue
on
against.
that?
Well,
which is an
Do you
assumption.
disagree that
No,
all
we-
Christians?
We are
Okay, well, then
protected
there's
by
nothing
God,
to
but you're
argue
making
about.
the assumption that you can't take away that protection.
You
Well,
said last week you
it
can't lose your
depends.
salvation, and
Yeah,
all
but that-
Christians are protected
You
by
can
God.
still lose that protection.
You think Christians cannot be protected by God?
If they take down that wall, yes.
If they're would that mean they're saved if they take down that wall?
Yeah, they can still be saved.
Okay, so you're saved, you're a Christian, and you don't have God's protection.
In a certain area of your life. 'Cause
Well,
you made it that way.
Hold on.
You're-
I think that it depends on your intent. There's a lot of things. That's what Jesus like went for in his ministry is the intent of your heart. And I think that if your intent is wrong with Halloween, then it will be bad. It will be satanic, and it won't be good for you. But if you don't have bad intents, it's not an objectively bad thing. And think about it like killing someone. If you kill someone with if you kill someone with a selfish heart or selfish desires, it is a sin and it's against God. It's murder.
Yeah.
But if you kill someone in self-defense, that's not murder.
Yeah.
So it depends on your intent. You still killed somebody. There's still somebody dead that's not going to be on this earth anymore. One is rooted from bad intent. One is rooted from good intent. It depends on your intent whether you are opening yourself up to the devil or not.
That's an interesting point. I do want to get into the verses, but I will respond to that. When you're going out to murder somebody, you have the intent of murdering them, like Gabriel said. But when you are defending yourself, when you're doing self-defense,
Moderators,
you didn't want to get in. You didn't want to have to kill somebody. You would have avoided it if you could have. And let's go into Halloween with this. Let's say participating Halloween, you're not one of these. You're initiating it if you murder. You're initiating the idea of somebody dying. If somebody's attacking you and then you in self-defense kill them, you're not initiating that idea. That was initiated by them. So by celebrating Halloween, it's initiated by you. Halloween didn't come and attack you and say, celebrate me. It didn't do that. You are the one who initiated it. So in both of those situations, you have to be the one to initiate that. And you initiated celebrating Halloween. Halloween didn't initiate it on you. You had to make that decision. But
Yeah.
let's go ahead and go over some of the verses I have.
Okay.
Hey, Will, can we pull you back in here? We're going to go over some of the verses now. All right. So 1 Thessalonians 5:22 says to abstain from even the appearance of evil. Even the appearance of evil. Ephesians 4:27 says, give no opportunity to the devil. 2 Corinthians 6:14-18 summed up says, light has no fellowship with darkness. 1 Corinthians 10:12 says, you cannot drink from the cup of God and from the cup of demons. And then I have many other verses, like Galatians 5:19, 1 Peter 5:8, Leviticus 9:31, Deuteronomy 18:9, Ephesians 5:11, to name some. But what do you say to those verses?
First of all, they have nothing to do with Halloween. Second of all, you have access to the internet.
Partly, yeah.
You're giving opportunity to the devil.
You walk out your door, you're giving opportunity to the devil.
Yeah. So if I really wanted to give no opportunity to the devil, I'd have to live under a rock and just do nothing all day.
You have to fulfill God's commands. And then once you've fulfilled those commands, don't do anything else to give opportunity to the devil. When I go on the internet, I'm not just doing it for the pleasure of it. I'm going on the internet to post a video to help other people understand, to teach others like God commands.
You ever surf on the internet or ever watch YouTube videos that are just recreational? You've never saw
in the past I did.
Oh, I see a YouTube
in the past
video. I want to watch this.
Yeah.
In the past I used to, but now I don't, because
you never ever do anything on the internet recreational.
I mean, not me myself. Occasionally,
so
like my
never,
dad.
when you've posted the video, you've never gone on YouTube and be like, oh, this is an
Yeah.
interesting video. Let me watch it.
My point is
for living waters, for living waters, for Ken Ham Answers in Genesis, to learn more.
So you've never at all done anything recreational, and not.
I don't have permission from my parents to.
So
All right.
I think that
And
if you
Gabriel, tell me how 1 Thessalonians 5:22 to abstain from even the appearance of evil. How does that have nothing to do with Halloween? Is a demon evil?
Yes.
No.
Okay, we got a deeper problem here.
Yes, a demon is evil.
Okay, and what is one of the main? You walk into a store that's selling Halloween decorations.
Mm-hmm.
Do you see the appearance of evil?
It depends on the
Yes.
store. It depends on the store. Really.
I mean, it depends on the decorations, but yeah.
Explain to me how Halloween is not the appearance of evil. How is that not even the appearance?
No. I'm not saying that Halloween isn't the appearance of evil, but I'm not. And this whole thing is, I'm not saying Halloween's good, but I'm saying there are things that are bad in Halloween, and there are things that are not bad in Halloween. And
celebrate Halloween would be lukewarm then. It's either for or against God. You can't have a middle ground.
So why
sitting in that chair for or against God? Is him playing solitaire on the floor?
that
Is
he's
he
playing
for or
solitaire right
against
now?
God?
Is that for or against God?
He could be on this podcast talking about God.
Like,
but he's on
he's-
the floor playing solitaire. So does that make him against God?
No.
He's in a church. I mean,
Yeah, and if I go to if I put
Caleb's just over there like,
so if I put a suit and a hat on October 31st, and I act like Charlie Chaplin, is that for or against God?
Depends on why you're doing it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Depends on why you're going trick or treating or why you put on a bumblebee
exactly.
costume on
Now
your
he-
dog.
No,
Yeah,
it
it's
ends there.
combined.
It ends there.
Why?
If you have no idea about Halloween and that has nothing to affect your decision, then yeah, that's fine. But if you're doing it because of Halloween or anything because of Halloween, then it's no longer your intention
Why?
because it's an evil satanic holiday that you're now celebrating. You're participating in.
what do you define as celebrating?
Participating in any way.
Participating in any way.
So I think there's Justin, here, wait, I want
yeah,
Justin
he
to
has
talk.
to Justin.
It's 41 minutes in the podcast. I haven't said anything. But so
And he's got these notes too.
You said-
we're almost done, guys. We have to hurry.
dang, we're almost done. I haven't said anything. But you said participating is celebrating.
Yes.
So if you participate in Christmas, are you celebrating the birth of Jesus?
Yeah, I know a lot of people that participate in it that aren't actually Christian. They're like, I just
If
think
you
they're not-
if you give gifts on Christmas and just participate in the traditions of Christmas, are you celebrating Jesus? Even
We're all like
what is so there are people who are not Christians who are thoroughly against Christianity and they still participate in Christmas for like the gift giving and all that stuff. And even though they are not Christians and they're against Jesus, they are celebrating Jesus in that. So you're then saying that as Christians, if we participate in Halloween, we are celebrating Satan. We are celebrating Satan. So, first of all, I don't believe what you say. And if you just participate in Christmas, you are celebrating Jesus. I mean,
what's the purpose of Christmas?
it is
To celebrate
to
the birth of Jesus.
celebrate the
So
yeah.
when you participate in Christmas, you are
So
celebrating.
you could
the birth of
But
participate in the
Jesus.
gift
You are-
giving
you-
aspect of
Sutter,
Christmas
you are-
without
you are
actually
making an
participating in the spirit of
assumption.
Christmas and participating in what Christianity represents.
You are
could
a
just participate in an
Will,
aspect of it.
You've
Sorry.
talked for so much longer than I have.
Go ahead.
And the truth is true. No.
So, Sutter, you are making an assumption that participating in Christmas is celebrating Jesus, and participating in Halloween is celebrating all things evil and Satan.
Is the
You're-
assumption about Christmas true?
The assumption about Christmas is not true.
How? Give me your evidence. From what source do you?
Dude, you don't need a source. You need common sense.
You need evidence. You need reasoning.
I
You
need
some sort of
evidence to prove to you.
I
how
did give
what
reason.
Christmas
I did
represents.
give reasoning. If
Prove your reason. Prove your reasoning. Give me
Because
some
there
sort
has
of
to be a
evidence. Say
creator.
you
Same
say,
reason
give me
every-
some sort of evidence. Give me any evidence
of what?
of what he was just saying. Of that participating in Christmas is not celebrating the birth of Jesus.
if you are going into Christmas just because you want to give gifts, you want to get gifts, it's just like
Yeah,
you want to
you're
eat food.
You're not technically.
You are
celebrating-
not. You don't have any intentions of celebrating Jesus. You might even specifically be like, all right, guys, they call it like Xmas or Happy Holidays because they want to remove Jesus.
If
Yeah.
if you have the intention of walking down the street and someone else has the intention of shooting you, even though you don't have the intention of getting shot, you're going to get shot because somebody else has the intention.
So
of
you're
shooting
wait.
You're saying that walking down the street and getting shot
No,
is similar to participating in holiday. And what I'm saying is, should Christians celebrate Halloween? To me, that is a resounding no. You should not celebrate Halloween. But I think there's a big difference between celebrating Halloween and participating in Halloween traditions or really events.
And that comes back to what evidence do you have to support that theory?
What evidence do I have to support that theory? Okay, so you posted a lot of videos on discipleship about this, like a lot, which is like
Go ask again.
you posted so many videos. I was almost like, Sutter, we get it. But anyway, Will, please,
Say something. Say hello. I'm alive.
can you tell Will to stay in a seat?
Hey,
Can you tell Justin?
Hey,
I
we got
got
something.
I have one thing to say.
You have one thing. All right.
Well, Justin, I wanted to hear the evidence. Or
I-
unless you have it.
So culturally, rainbows are gay pride now.
Mm.
If I have a rainbow, if I draw a rainbow, am I celebrating gay pride?
No. Show me a rainbow's pagan roots.
Show me Halloween's pagan roots.
Came from the Celts, who started it as a pagan holiday.
Wait.
Okay.
God created the rainbow. God created meat. Pagans created Halloween.
All right. God created everything. Anyways, well, God created pagans. God created pagans who created Halloween. But look, here's what I'm saying. You were saying that if you're participating in the gift giving aspect of Christmas, you're celebrating the birth of Jesus, correct? Okay. So are you aware that people that participate in the gift giving aspect, there are plenty of atheists?
Yep.
Okay. So they're celebrating the birth of Jesus. Do you agree that if you were celebrating the birth of Jesus, that you would acknowledge that there was indeed a birth of Jesus? Because if you're celebrating
Not
it,
always. If you don't know that you're.
so how would you
celebrating
celebrate something that you didn't believe in?
it. If somebody didn't know, I'll go with Halloween. If somebody didn't know that Halloween had pagan roots and they participated in Halloween, they're still taking part in that pagan practice, even if they know it or not. Your knowledge of it has nothing to do with your.
So you're saying just one second. So you're saying just giving a gift on Christmas is celebrating the birth of Jesus.
Yeah, any participating in
Just-
Christmas in any way is.
All right, we're just gonna have to disagree on that.
Listen, I want to hear y'all's biblical or just any evidence against my opinion that Halloween's bad in general. I will give you any evidence.
I just gave you evidence to my pastor that brought people to Christ
me
by
that.
having a.
Pastor, your
Please.
party. Where did your
That's my
pastor?
Thank
get
you.
his
Okay,
evidence?
okay.
He's a pastor.
Moderators, help. Help.
You're yelling, Gabriel. Listen,
Guys.
your pastor. Where did he get his sources?
Get his sources.
Guys.
He was
Just-
having a
just-
party.
let's-
What do
guys.
you need sources for?
Guys.
let's let Justin talk.
Guys. Okay, so as I was saying before, I watched all the videos, or not really all, but most of the videos that you posted. On set. It literally can't go past this one.
Okay, continue.
I watched the videos that you posted. So obviously the one I even called Sutter about this one. So there's one on there where there's this guy talking about it. It's the one with like 600 something views now. He was saying anyone who defends Halloween, any Christian who celebrates Halloween is a lukewarm Christian.
Say that.
He did.
No.
He did say it.
Yes, he did.
He
We
did.
can play the video.
Go-
He actually
go-
said it's always the lukewarm Christians who are first to defend Halloween.
He also said it's never anyone who actually has a relationship with Jesus. He specifically said,
Christian at all.
exactly. He
It's
said,
not lukewarm,
So
that's
he's saying
the
all three of us aren't Christians at all.
he said,
Yo,
so what he said is, it's always the lukewarm Christians who are so fast to defend Halloween. It is never basically what he's saying here, never someone who actually has a relationship with Jesus would defend Halloween. It's basically what he's saying. I'm not really defending Halloween as a holiday. Halloween, really, it's like completely unnecessary. And a lot of like the dark aspects about like the death and all that stuff, that
He said, I just watched the video. The guy said, no one with a real relationship with Jesus will even want to celebrate Halloween.
yeah, no one with the real nobody who actually had a relationship with Jesus would want to celebrate
So wait,
Halloween is what he's saying.
So
And
me
I
dressing
apologize
up
if
would
this makes
mean
somebody mad, but if
Basically,
you know the roots,
he-
if you know the roots, then I agree with that
So
you're saying
basically,
I'm not a
you're
Christian.
saying
We're
that
not
any of us here who want to celebrate or participate in Halloween, who want to trick or treat or who want to dress up, they're not a Christian.
After hearing all the evidence and seeing its pagan roots, then I would agree with his statement.
So
We're not Christians.
So I have wanted to, and I still would still want to, like trick or treat. I mean, I honestly
No,
like,
I mean like I want
trick or treat.
The one you get the temptation to do something. I'm not saying if you have that temptation, you're not a Christian, but you know what I'm saying.
If you want to, what he was saying is, if you want to do it, then you are. If you want to participate in traditions of Halloween, then you are not a Christian. Is clearly what he is saying.
Yeah.
And you said that you believe that, and
I agree.
because of that, I mean, I don't really know what to say to that, except you just said I'm not a Christian.
Yeah. What about as far as proof? You're always asking for our proof. What about proof? I'm a Christian. I'm saved. He's a Christian. He's saved. He's a Christian. He's saved. And we're defending Halloween and the celebration and such, that you aren't actually partaking in any of the spiritual celebrations of Halloween. And you're saying anyone that understands the roots of Halloween that still celebrates in any capacity is not actually a Christian. We are actually Christians, and we're celebrating, and that we dress up to go trick-or-treating. So that in itself is proven that there is a way that you can still celebrate Halloween in some capacity and still be a Christian, right? Or do you believe that we aren't saved?
A Christian won't be in their sin for long before they come out of that sin.
What's sinful about Halloween?
What's sinful
Well,
about just
okay,
going
any-
and getting
any
candy?
Christian, any Christian who wants to celebrate a pagan holiday, I'm on the fence if they're a Christian.
Okay,
So okay, you say celebrating and participating are the same thing. I say celebrating and participating
definitely
are
not.
different things.
Yeah.
So to you,
To me,
to-
with evidence.
to you-
To you with opinions. Show me your evidence, please.
We just showed you our evidence.
What
The
evidence?
pastor-
Here.
The pastor that I was
Your
just
pastor's
Sutter.
opinion. Your
That
pastor's
pastor was
Sutter.
at the party. He watched people get saved. How
Sutter.
is that evidence?
guys,
Sutter,
That's
guys.
the fact that he sat there and watched it is an opinion.
Okay,
Sutter. Sutter.
Creepy.
So Sutter, in okay, we're kind of off track, but here in your biography for me on the discipleship website, I don't know if you still have it up, but you said you put in my biography, Justin Rice is a Christian who does this and this, and you said I'm a good Christian before, and I would want to participate in Halloween because that's something like fun to do. Like, I mean,
Yeah.
maybe not.
Hey, sin has pleasure to you.
This is not like, okay. You're saying
Wait.
participating, dressing up, and getting candy is a sin on Halloween.
Yeah.
So you're okay.
I
I have a bunch of stuff here. Okay, we're kind of off. I had a bunch of stuff here. I really haven't gotten to much of it. So I'm just gonna try to get up to the top. So Halloween. What does Halloween belong to?
It's a pagan holiday, so it belongs to the pagans who were
Belongs to the pagans. So the day belongs to the pagans.
not the day, the holiday. It's a
Holiday.
celebration.
Okay.
Oh, we got 3 people watching. This is like an all.
Stop commenting on it.
Watch. They're gonna leave. Watch. Ready?
Stop it.
No.
They're gonna leave
Stop.
because you're saying they're gonna leave.
And then
Okay.
it's this.
They already left. No, please stop listening to
Stop.
this kid.
Stop it. Okay. So also in that video about that guy who was saying you aren't a Christian if you like defend Halloween. He also said he quoted the founder of the Church of Satan who said, "I'm glad Christian parents let their children worship Satan one day out of the year." So you are saying dressing up, getting candy, trick or treating is worshiping Satan.
Participating in the holiday that pagans originally created.
Okay. So giving presents on Christmas, opening presents, is that worshiping Jesus?
Yeah, it's in remembrance of Jesus.
You're worshiping Jesus. Okay, what if someone who hates Jesus, are they, even though they hate Jesus, for whatever reason, they hate Jesus. They don't want anything to do with him, but they give gifts on Christmas because, like, it's Christmas. You give gifts on Christmas. Like, is that them worshiping Jesus? You can't. Their worship. They're going. So, but if they hate Jesus and they hate Jesus or they don't think Jesus exists, and by that they are worshiping Jesus, and therefore doing something completely against what they believe. Like,
Sure. I mean, this world's they have no.
So
They can be a hypocrite if they want to. They have.
All right, we gotta wrap.
So
it up.
you're
Let's
saying they
finish
can
this
be a
up.
hypocrite if they want to.
Yeah. They don't have any rules.
They can be a hypocrite. If they
Wait,
want
what? Who doesn't have any rules?
Atheists, they have 0 rules. No rules in life.
Oh,
They have no rules.
well,
Everybody still has
They do,
some
they just don't
kind
know
of
it.
moral compass.
Well, we do have rules, but
Because we have
accept-
God's moral law.
Yeah, we do, but they have accepted to deny that. So they don't have.
So-
rules, they deny those. But we do need to.
Also-
give your closing statement.
So you kept talking about how participating in the things on Halloween is taking down basically like taking down the protection from Jesus or the Holy Spirit. Because you're participating in it, you are giving permission and therefore removing the protection of Jesus and the Holy Spirit. That's what you said, but that's like not possible. It's impossible for us to, according to the Bible, Romans 8:38-39 says, "For I am sure that neither death nor life, nor angels, nor rulers, nor things present, nor things to come, nor powers, nor height, nor depth, nor anything else in all creation will be able to separate us from the love of God in Christ Jesus our Lord." And depending on the version, it even says angels or demons, which would apply here. It's saying nothing can separate us from Jesus.
From the love of God.
So participating.
Take away that protection. We're still with him, but we can take away the protection.
So you don't think all Christians are?
You're
protected by
saying
God?
we cannot be separated from Jesus.
We gotta wrap this up.
We cannot be separated by Jesus, but we can separate his protection from us, is what you're saying.
I agree with that.
You are
Why would you want to take away that protection?
But you said it was
You're-
a Christian.
you are making the assumption. First of all, you're making the assumption that these supernatural powers and supernatural like things, witches or whatever, you're assuming they have power, which obviously you're going to argue that they do have power, but they
God has
do
supreme
not have power.
They do have power. The Bible even says they have power.
No,
But
they
God
don't
has
have power.
supreme power. He has
No.
power over everything.
Yeah, God has power over
He
everything.
does.
And
Yeah.
he lives inside of
But
us.
when we take away that power,
So
we
would
have
you-
free will. We can take
Would you
away
agree that God's
So-
protection is superior to the demon's power?
Yes.
Okay.
Wait,
well, then we're.
So I
that's
know
because we're protected
You
by
like
God.
are gonna
So the
completely
demons-
disagree. You completely disagree with like everything that we've said, and you would completely disagree that your argument is built on many radical assumptions. You would completely disagree
If you
with
agree
that.
the Bible is radical assumptions, then I would.
Well, we're the ones that give the biblical.
You
No,
didn't
no,
give
no.
A single Bible verse, Will. I gave.
Well,
like 8.
So
Well, okay. All right. There's one thing I wanted to do. Can you?
Exactly, so there's no balance.
I know we're so over, but can you read your Bible verses for me real quick?
I'll go ahead and just quote one. Abstain from even the appearance.
Abstain from the appearance of evil. So, dressing up on Halloween, you can appear as evil. It depends like on your choice of costume.
Exactly.
If you dress up as a witch or you dress up as like a mummy, that is the appearance of evil. If you dress up as
A bumblebee.
a bumblebee or SWAT team or whatever, is that the appearance of evil? No. So
You're making the assumption that it's not. Give the evidence back and it's not.
you're also making the so you're saying I'm making the assumption that dressing up as a SWAT team or bumblebee is the appearance of evil if it's on Halloween.
if it's doing it if Halloween is affecting that decision of you dressing up, then yes, because it's a pagan holiday. And so the appearance of evil would be participating in that pagan
All right,
holiday.
here. Okay, so a lot of people do dress up with like kind of bad
It
costumes.
doesn't matter the costume. The costume does not matter.
So you would say Gabriel
so
is equal to
you-
someone that came
As
to
your
as a
costume, you
witch?
can stand out from.
He's not changing his identity. When you put on a costume.
No, but tomorrow when I put a bowler hat on, a fake mustache, and
Okay.
and act like Charlie Chaplin, does that
Sutter,
mean that I'm like
Equal to a witch?
Why are you doing it? Because it's Halloween.
Sutter,
Yes.
Sutter,
Well, then yes.
Sutter. As
Okay.
Christians, what is our identity? Our identity is in Jesus.
Yes.
You're saying on Halloween we are changing our identity, and therefore we are changing our identity from Jesus to whatever else it is. That is losing salvation. We can
You
if
just
our
argued
identity
we
is
couldn't
Jesus,
lose
we are a
salvation.
Christian. If our identity is not Jesus, we are not Christian.
Exactly. All right, that's a good closing statement. I think we can,
And
we can
what were
kinda
your
wrap it up here.
what were your
We're
other
just
what were
gonna
your
have
other
to-
verses? There were several other things I had to say about the other verses.
Oh, light has no fellowship with darkness.
Light has no fellowship with darkness. Jesus didn't avoid the darkness.
He didn't participate in it. When people got drunk around eating.
We're not participating in it if we're
Well,
not
that's a
dressing
whole
up.
nother
We're
argument,
saying it
okay?
is a
We're-
spirit.
That's
So
All
we
right,
keep
gotta go.
we
gotta
keep
go.
we
gotta
keep
go.
getting into different things. Drunkenness is a completely different argument.
Okay, clear. We got give the best.
Here, let me just
We
say
gotta
something
stop.
close. One thing close.
Okay, bro.
We are going to have to agree to disagree.
Maybe
So-
we'll do a part two.
Well, we can do a part 2 maybe. I don't know, but but right now we're gonna have to agree to disagree. Sutter has certain beliefs and he has certain convictions, and I'm not gonna make him go against the convictions because the Bible clearly tells us not to in 1 Corinthians 8. But so we can believe what we believe, and he believes what he does. We obviously got nowhere in the debate, and
Well,
we're gonna have
the
to
people
agree to
watching may
disagree.
have, because
Maybe you have, and I'm glad this inspired you.
Thank
So
you, guys.
thank you for watching.
Wait, if
Listen.
Jesus.
Hold on, no, we can't. No. We're not getting back into it. But listen, I'm sorry, we're too late. But listen. And for my closing statement, I want to say it's either for or against God. There's no in between. If it comes from paganism and it is still rooted in paganism today, then it is against God, which is my closing statement. So you can be for God by participating. Well, we can't go back into it. But I don't think you can be for God by participating in a pagan holiday. So we got it. Okay, we got to end. Thank you for listening to this episode of the Discipleship Podcast.
Can you be for God by just
Justin, no.
Yes. Thank you for
Thank you for listening to
Thank you for listening to this episode of the Stop. Thank you for listening to this episode of the Discipleship Podcast. We hope it has been great for you. If you want a part 2, comment. We'll do part 2. Have a wonderful night, and we will see you next time on the Discipleship Podcast. Justin, say it for us.
Hi. Don't sin.